Friends, now we will consider a transaction record. So in this case, will be showing you a purchase order, which in case if it is changed, how the records will get impacted in CDSDR and CDPOS table. So this is a standard PO. Now let's go to CDSDR table. The object class for purchase order is EINKBELEG, Einkauf Belege, and I have entered over here star and followed by the PO number. Now let us do F8. Now if you see in this case, there is one change number. What we will do is, now we will come to the CDPOS table, EIN Einkauf Belege, and I'll enter the change number over here. Let's do F8. Now this is the existing PO entry wherein the PO was created. One entry was made in EKPO and another entry was made in EKPA table. Okay. Now what we will do is we will come to ME22N. Okay, and in edit mode, I will make the payment days as 10. Okay, payment in as 10, and here in the EKPO table, I will make it as 20. The quantity I will change it to 20. The delivery date we will change it to 1st of December, which is in future, and I click on save over here. So it gives us a message, this PO number has been saved. Now let's come back to the CDSDR table and refresh and see. So if you see, there is one more new entry which has been created on today's date in ME22N transaction. I'll copy paste this change number and we'll come back to CDPOS table and I will enter the new change number over here and let's do F8. Now if you see over here, there are multiple table entries which have been created. Now why, we will understand that, which is very important. On the screen, we just changed one field in the header table, which is EKKO table. The old value was blank, the payment in the so and so days, and we made it to 10 over here. Okay, so the old value was 0 and the new value is 10. The quantity mango field, we changed it from 10 to 20. So the entry for EKPO table has come over here. And there were few other entries which were calculated indirectly, the fields. So all those fields which are calculated indirectly also, the user has not changed it, but they have been changed using some logic, customizing logic or BADI or whatever it is. All these fields also get logged in. So if you see over here, we just made two changes. One to the payment in days and the quantity. However, there were other fields also which got impacted. So all these entries, the old value and new value, everything gets recalculated. Oh, sorry, I forgot to mention. We also changed the delivery date, okay, which was earlier 10. So delivery date goes in EK table. So it was 1st of October and we changed it to 1st of December. So all these entries somehow they got recalculated and this log has been created over here in CDPOS. Now let us understand how this table key column is created. So 800 is for the client, so which is common in all the entries over here, followed by the PO number. The PO number is 4 times 0 1122. So in case of EKKO table, if you open another session and let's put EKKO table. The primary key is the client and PO number. So in case of CD POS entry over here, you will have the client and key number over here. Next comes the EKPO table. So let's open EKPO table. Now if you see over here, there are three fields: client, PO number, and purchasing document line item number. So let's take this example: client 800 followed by the PO number followed by the line item number. So it has 3 zeros and then 10. So we made change in line item number 10. If we see this, the EBLP field has 5 num-c length. That is why it is 3 zeros followed by 10. Then comes the EKET table. EKET table. This is the schedule length agreement table. It has got 4 fields in primary key field: the client, the PO number, the line item number, and the delivery schedule line counter. Now let's see in CD POS. You have the client followed by the PO number, followed by the line item number 10, and then followed by the delivery line schedule line item number over here. And these all are the fields which got impacted because we changed the delivery date